In the bustling city of Kwamboka, lived a happy couple, Tond and Amina, whose love for each other was the envy of many. They shared a small but cozy home painted in warm ochre and filled with the laughter of their 5-year-old daughter, Zara. Tond, a hard-working electrician, and Amina, a schoolteacher, spent their evenings together around the fire, telling stories to Zara before bedtime. Life was simple and sweet. Every Sunday, the family would stroll down to the marketplace, where Amina would buy Zara roasted groundnuts and colorful beads. Their joy was visible to all. But fate, in its cruel twist, was quietly waiting. One rainy season, Amina began to feel weak. At first, it was just headaches and fatigue. But soon, she could barely rise from bed. Despite all efforts to get her medical help, her condition worsened. Tond sold everything he could, even his precious toolbox, but nothing saved her. Amina passed away quietly one night, her hand resting in Tond's, her last tear falling for Zara. The funeral was a sorrowful event. The once lively home was filled with silence, and little Zara, confused and grieving, clutched a framed photo of her mother and cried herself to sleep for weeks. After 6 months, Tond, worn by sorrow and loneliness, married again. Her name was Linda, a beautiful woman from a neighboring town. She came into the house with grace, promising to help raise Zara and bring light back into Tond's life. At first, all seemed well. But Linda had a coldness behind her eyes. She didn't like how Zara often stared at her mother's picture or how Tond always compared her meals to Amina's cooking. Slowly, she began to distance herself from the little girl, seeing her as a burden, not a child in need of love. Soon, Linda's cruelty became obvious. She would make Zara do chores meant for grown-ups and deny her proper meals. Tond, often away on jobs, didn't see the bruises, emotional and sometimes physical, that Linda left on the child. Zara learned not to cry. Zara would sit by her mother's picture every night, whispering her troubles into the frame. She didn't know if the picture could hear, but it gave her comfort. She would fall asleep on the floor beneath it, dreaming of her mother's embrace. One night, as thunder roared in the skies, a strange light flickered from the picture frame. Zara, startled, rubbed her eyes. There, standing beside her bed, was her mother, radiant, kind, and glowing like a goddess. "Do not be afraid," Amina said. "I have heard your cries." From that night onward, every time Linda left Zara hungry, a plate of warm jollof rice would appear by the frame. When Linda tore Zara's schoolbooks, money to buy new ones would appear. The little girl began to thrive, but she kept her secret. Linda was baffled. She didn't understand how Zara was never hungry, or how her torn clothes were replaced by better ones. The girl never begged or stole, yet she had more than Linda herself. Suspicion grew, but she never imagined the dead had returned. Tond noticed Zara's spirit was lifting, though he didn't know why. He thought maybe Linda was finally caring for her. Little did he know, the picture on the wall was more than a memory, it was a lifeline between mother and daughter, fueled by love and divine power. One night, Amina warned Zara, "You must grow strong, and never let hatred into your heart. Your kindness will open doors my spirit cannot." Zara nodded. Her mother taught her to pray, to study, and to treat even Linda with silent forgiveness. Zara worked harder than anyone her age. She won scholarships, joined a youth entrepreneurship program, and started a small beaded jewelry business. All the while, Amina's spirit visited less often. "You are ready now," she said one final time before vanishing into the picture. Years passed. Zara bloomed into a brilliant, graceful woman with the poise of her late mother. She became a well-known designer, her brand rooted in African heritage and elegance. Her fame spread across cities. At a business gala, she met Jide, wealthy, kind, and utterly enchanted by her. Jide courted her with humility and respect, and soon they were married in a grand ceremony attended by dignitaries and villagers alike. Ton wept with pride, holding Amina's photo close. Linda stood to the side, her face pale with a mix of bitterness and envy. Now an old woman, Linda sat alone in the very house she once ruled with cruelty. Ton had passed away, and Zora, still graceful, only visited out of duty. Linda's life was empty. She often stared at the photo of Amina and whispered apologies into the silence. One night, she dreamt of Amina. "You had a chance to love her," Amina said gently. "But you chose bitterness. Forgiveness is not too late, but the time to give love is gone." Linda woke up crying, realizing she had wasted years of her life to pride. Zora kept a picture frame in her new home, hanging in the hallway where her own children could see it. She told them stories of the brave woman who had fed her through magic and love, and how good always finds a way to rise. Though Linda lived out her days quietly, she eventually came to terms with her guilt. And when she passed, Zora buried her respectfully, never once mentioning the past. In that act of grace, the cycle of pain was broken. And in the frame, Amina's smile never faded.